Leif Vollebekk, welcome to eTown. So, first of all, you made a beautiful record.
Thank you.
Kind of spare and soulful, and it sounds like it was. I was talking to Andrew about this too. It sounds like just guys in a room, tracking in real time.
Yeah.
Did you give the band? Were these songs that had already kind of come to life in your performances and?
No, these were all. Basically, I really lucked out, and I assembled a band. Good drummers is important, and this bass player that I saw at a show, and I was like, I think that's the guy. And I had him come up to the studio, and I'd be like, this is the song, and they were basically all like first and second takes,
wow.
You know. So just like, but just so you know, I have like 1 or 2 chords in my songs, so
right.
It's not. And the drummer doesn't need to play chords, so. But you know, they just follow the voice, and so it was really fun. It was really magical, and it doesn't always happen that way.
Right.
Usually, doesn't happen that way, but.
But of course, it just did now because that was the first take too.
Yeah,
right.
I really liked playing that.
Yeah,
you guys, it was really nice. It was really fun.
That was fun.
Yeah.
No,
Sorry.
I like this too.
I'm like, hey, remember that? Just
yeah,
then?
that just happened.
Ah, that's nice. That Tig Notaro joke. Remember 5 minutes ago? Yeah. Anyhow, I'm not telling the joke right, but there's a joke. You should look it up.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think about like Miles Davis's record where he sort of gave an outline, didn't say really what the thing was going to be, but just said, got the right guys. The casting was critical.
Me and Miles Davis just, same level, exactly.
Yeah, you and
I'm
Miles.
glad you noticed.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to tell people, you forgot to compare me to Miles Davis. It's good.
So very quickly, let's move on to this next thing.
I'm sorry, but no, but that is what he does, and I remember that when I read that's like the most amazing thing. It's like you find people that that play the way you want to hear music, and then you don't have to tell them what to do. Right. It's so simple, you know. It's like a relationship, people. It never works, anyways. But you know what I gotta do. Maybe it does. I don't know.
So I made up this thing, Leif. Remember me? I'm over here.
They just seem so nice. And they're in the dark.
So I made up this kind of construct before about how everybody in the show this week has moved somewhere that's kind of changed their scene in some way or another, or had an experience like that. And was that true of your trip when you went to Iceland? Was that kind of a game changer for you, or was it just a trip?
It was a huge game changer. It was the first time I kind of like lived away from my hometown, which is kind of radical departure, yeah, I really got into Bob Dylan when I was there, and so I was like listening to like Blonde on Blonde and Time Out of Mind, and no, I didn't listen to Time Out of Mind then, but I could have. I thought I didn't like late Bob Dylan. I was wrong, but Blood on the Tracks and all that stuff with an Icelandic landscape, so it was really nice, and it was like the cleanest place to go. Get obsessed with Bob Dylan, and I mean, there was other things that happened, obviously, other than Bob Dylan, but a lot of great music there.
You
too.
wrote some songs.
Yeah.
You met some people.
Yeah.
And did you develop any language skills?
Yeah, my Icelandic is like pretty good because it's so hard, but it's awful. But I get very impressed looks for the
because
first
you
minute.
tried.
Yeah, basically.
How long were you there?
1 year.
Yeah, and there's a pretty cool music scene. I remember just traveling through on Icelandic Airlines when that was the cheap ticket to go to Europe, but I never really spent any time there. What's the music scene like there?
I mean, it's actually been quite a long time since I was, really a young buck living in Iceland, but it's amazing.
It's not just everybody's like Bjork.
Well, I mean, nobody's like Bjork, and that's what they're like, why are you always telling us we look like Bjork? We're not like her. She's very different, so. But you like that? You like that? Okay, nice. Some people don't like that. They're Icelandic.
Yeah. Don't go back to Iceland for a while.
Yeah. Do they get? There's no NPR station in Iceland.
No, you're safe, I think. Yeah.
Okay, good. Maybe on the army base though. Or I don't know.
Could be.
There's an army base in Iceland, apparently. You guys didn't like that? Okay. I'm not going to go there, I guess. I don't know anything about this now.
This is not going well, is it?
It was better when you were asking questions, and I was just And that never happened.
No, it's
I
going
was- you were-
fine. I'm just
okay,
teasing.
great. That's great.
So now you live in Montreal, which is a beautiful city, and it's such an interesting city because it's kind of, between Toronto and Ottawa, and as you head east and you get to Montreal and then you get to Quebec City, it's kind of like going to Europe, but you're actually just traveling back in time and into a land where there's another language, another culture. And Montreal, it feels like a European city. So there, did you have to learn? Are you learning French?
My mom is French Canadian.
Oh, your mom is
So
French
I grew
Canadian.
up speaking Franco-Ontarian.
Yeah.
It's a complicated country. So like you have Quebecois, like French from Quebec, and then you have like the other provinces have their own little accents. So I have my own little accent.
Is it kind of a patois with different language too, different vocabulary?
There's a bit more English, obviously,
Yeah.
as you leave Quebec.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a complicated country.
But it's a
Quebec.
place you feel comfortable and at home, and
Yeah, I like being able to speak French and English all the time, and I never feel comfortable, which is good for me. Like, and I'm, in Toronto, when I can speak to everyone in English, I feel like it's too easy, So it's kind of nice being in Montreal and being like, oh, are you an English person? And we're both speaking in French, and like we're being like, we're gonna do this, and and they're like, no, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna stay, and they're like, vous aimez la pizza? And I'd be like, yeah, and it's kind of there's a lot of levels to all social interactions in Montreal. It's great.
well, we're doing a little geography thing. We're starting in Iceland. We're going to Montreal. There's some rambling on your record.
And right now is mostly
And right now there's some rambling, and we were talking with Tom about ramblers. The idea is though that you touched on there's Michigan, there's Vancouver, there's London, there's Telluride, there's all these different places. Are those locales where you wrote the songs, or just as you're writing, those were places that just conjured up some emotion?
I have like this. I haven't been doing it recently, but I tend to just if I say the name of a place, I tend to know what happens there, even though I've never been, and it's totally untrue, but it seems easier. And I wrote this, I haven't been to Telluride yet, but I actually heard it. I was at a friend's place here in Boulder, and someone was like, oh, Telluride, and I was like, oh, that's a pretty town name. And then I wrote a song about it, and I haven't been yet, but then I found out there was like a folk festival, or like a Telluride festival,
Bluegrass Festival.
Bluegrass Festival. So I was like, well, I hope they don't think I did it on purpose. But if you guys
try
are
to get a
listening,
gig, you mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
you guys are listening, wouldn't that work? Like, maybe?
It might. You never
Yeah.
know. Helen lived in Telluride for 15 years.
Really?
So, yeah.
Okay, maybe I got
so
an
she's
in there.
scrutinizing your song.
She's like, that didn't happen.
None of
That's
that
not
rings true.
That's
really.
not true.
But are you a prolific writer? Are you somebody who writes a lot of songs?
I write a lot of bad songs. That's many bad ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want any. The bad ones.
And then do you combine the bad ones to make the good ones, or you learn from them and move on?
I used to try and combine them, and then
Yeah.
you'd have like this sick child of a song that was just like, anyhow. That's a bad metaphor. That was a bit gruesome. But yeah, it's better when they come out, just happy on their own.
Complete,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm really not I'm moving away from the child metaphor here.
Yeah.
Is that, oh God. Oh, what have I done?
We're going to go back to music soon.
Yeah. Those are I write down the lyrics, then I
before I-
sing them, and it's a bit more
Yeah.
streamlined like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we
So-
edit this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But Helen does the editing. So
I think it's mostly
you're kinda-
silence.
yeah.
I have white noise on my Moog.
dead air is
synthesizer.
okay
Yeah.
for us. It's okay.
Yeah. Give people time to think about
Right.
their own stuff.
Yeah. And they're driving.
Yeah.
I want to mention that most of your songs are about relationships that go poorly. Or near misses. Things
Well,
that
like near-
almost were, that didn't quite happen.
Yeah. I mean, I've never thought about it like that. Was that a question?
It was an observation. Yeah, it's just I couldn't help but notice that the thing that's so beautiful about the spare arrangement to the song, I'm trying to be serious, by the way, is that it's inviting. It gets you in. What was so interesting to me as a listener is I'm listening to the songs and I'm involved with the narrative and quite often I found that it was sort of like it's not going to work out. It was close, but it's not going to work out.
Yeah.
And I was sort of into the story along the song. You know.
Oh, I kind of disappointed you.
No,
in a
no,
little
it was
way.
just, it was, oh yeah, there's another one where,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, sometimes that happens,
Yeah.
I guess, in a song.
So yeah.
In the, yeah.
Yeah.
I could be lying down for this, you know, just like, well, it all started when I was 16, but there was a lot of bad songs then
Public
too.
therapy.
Yeah.
No, I just wonder whether you're that kind of an autobiographical songwriter, and if so, we wish you better luck in love.
Thank you.
That's all.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
You have no idea. I think you kind of just write the songs that come out. I mean, it depends.
Yeah.
It depends. Sometimes you need a song, and sometimes a song helps you work out some thoughts, and sometimes it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
You know?
And you've been a hard-working, hard-touring guy. You've always been on the road, right?
I guess I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so now, do you travel with an ensemble, or do you do a lot of solo shows, or what's
It's
your?
kind of a mix.
Yeah.
I have a band. We're basically a trio right now. Though sometimes I have a couple of sax players with me, just drum, bass, and myself, and then that's nice, and that's one thing. And then sometimes I'm just on my own, especially in Europe. I'll just do solo shows over there, and very
and I know
different.
you've got a relationship and a friendship with a singer-songwriter who's from here, Gregory Alan Isakov, and you've been on the road with him a fair amount.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been on this show.
He's been on this show,
Yeah.
a few times. How?
Hey, Greg.
How did you guys meet?
At Newport Folk Festival, backstage, I actually met his band first, and I just played. We were playing the same stage, and I went backstage, and I was like, I know you guys are about to play, but like, the record's amazing, and I think you're amazing. They're like, we think you're amazing. We just saw you play, and I was like, oh my god, but you're amazing. And it was like this, I was like having such a great, amazing, exchange. It was really nice. And then a few months later, we were on a tour in America.
That's great.
America.
I like the.
I don't know.
Do you have to rephrase it?
I don't know
now?
why I had to say it
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Well, we do.
Yeah. So, for some reason, sometimes the Canadian accent comes out, so I feel like I just want to blend in more.
Yeah.
That's not
Just avoid talking about BOAT.
BOAT.
Yeah, don't do that.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get back to music. Would you please help me welcome back Leif Vollebekk?